How's it going? I'm Andrew with Investors Hub, and it seems like Ted gets all the good holidays. He had 420 2 weeks ago, and now he gets May the 4th. It's just not fair. So yeah, today is Ted Tuesday. Unless the video doesn't come out on Tuesday, then it's Ted Wednesday. Well, that'll screw up Clem's Day Wednesday. I don't know. I'll get it done somehow. And oh yeah, by the way, we're getting Clem on tomorrow, all things going well. He's going to be talking about Ethereum, but today we are talking to Ted Ohashi, and he's going to be chatting about the cannabis industry. He writes the Cannabis Report for Investors Hub, and he's going to be talking about a couple of companies in his model portfolio, including JUSHF and 1933 Industries, and he's going to talk about what's going on with cannabis in Mexico and lots of different topics. So yeah, if you like the video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Share if there's anybody that you know that might want to learn more about the cannabis investing world. And let's hear from Ted. Please note that our videos are not designed to be direct investing advice. We're here to gather the perspective of different investors. Our channel and our content should just be one stop on the journey of trying to find out where to put your money. So I heard that the Mexican Supreme Court set a deadline for the legislature in order to make cannabis laws, and their legislature didn't meet that deadline. What effect is that going to have on the companies in your model portfolio that have interests in Mexico?
Well, first of all, it's not the first time this has happened in Mexico, so it's kind of business as usual. The other thing is to remember that a company like Khiron is interested in the medical marijuana aspect. The regulations that they're having trouble with and experiencing delays with relate to adult use cannabis. So it has virtually no effect on Khiron, which is the company that we're interested in that has a significant exposure to Mexico.
So about a third of the U.S. population is vaccinated right now. How does the cannabis industry react to sort of a return to the old normalcy? And if so, has the market already priced that in?
Yeah, well, I think the market prices it in as you go. It kind of depends on what state you're in. The last one I was looking at is Nevada. Nevada is aggressively reopening. They expect to have virtually back to normal conditions by June 1. They're allowing, I think, 80% occupancy right now in casinos, for example, which I guess is the most important thing to them. So a company like 1933, which operates in Nevada, basically in Las Vegas, and has been dependent on local business, local traffic, will benefit a lot because I think there's indications now. I think they had over 2 million visitors or something last month. So as that happens, things will improve. And it's happening, of course, across the U.S. The American numbers continue to be, to me, surprisingly positive. The number of cases last week looked like it was starting to go down again. And so it experienced a tiny blip up and now maybe going back down again. The rest of the world, I mean, the number of new cases has exceeded the highs of last summer. So the U.S. is doing much better, and I think it's related to what you referred to at the beginning, which was they've been very aggressive in terms of vaccinations, and so they're leading the world in that, and it looks like it's benefiting them.
So we've actually had a lot of positive news recently, legislatively and government-wise here in the U.S. related to cannabis. You know, we have a more sympathetic government now, and the Safe Banking Act passed the House of Representatives a couple of weeks ago. But I want to look at the flip side. So what kinds of things could be snags for the cannabis industry in the U.S.? And I know you also look at companies outside of the U.S.
Yeah, well, the snag right now is kind of a curious one because I'm picking up vibes that maybe Majority Leader Schumer in the Senate is kind of trying to hold back the Safe Banking Act because he wants to get his bill in. and it isn't ready yet. And so there may be a little bit of a delay there as people play politics, which they always do. But I mean, other than that, the only real threat to cannabis right now, I think, would be a return to another big upwave in COVID cases, or in one of these variants or mutations, and that I think would affect them and would affect the whole industry. Otherwise, right now things are looking quite positive, as you mentioned, and they're looking quite positive for the overall industry as well. The savings rate is very high. The U.S. economy is 70% driven by consumer spending, so that's all good. There may be an inflation threat coming. There may be a threat of higher interest rates coming, but those are probably going to come on reasonably slowly, and so we're going to be able to see that happening and assess the situation. I mean, right now, I think some people are making quite incredible forecasts for inflation and interest rates looking 2 years down the road. I don't think the market's paying much attention to those kinds of things. And so I would say over the next 6 to 12 months, things are looking really quite positive, quite normal. But, the U.S., as I say, has been a pocket of normalcy within the rest of the world. I'm in Canada, and up here, our COVID situation is as bad as or worse than it was last summer. So, and so is the rest of the world.
So you write the Cannabis Report that's posted on Investors Hub, and there's a model portfolio in there. You mentioned a couple of companies that were in that portfolio, 1933 Industries and Khiron. Do you have any other interesting developments from those companies in the portfolio?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's interesting. I mentioned Khiron because you asked about Mexico, but they had some very, very positive news recently. They reported for their fourth quarter, which goes back to the 3 months ended December. The financial results I thought were very, very good. The indications are strong that that revenue growth continued in the first quarter, and looking at the number of clinics that are opening and getting into Europe, the numbers look good for the balance of the year. So I think Khiron is certainly a company that qualifies. The other one is JUSHF. JUSHF is a multi-state operator in the U.S. And in the last 6 or 8 weeks, they've made a number of interesting moves in Virginia, in Pennsylvania, in Nevada, in Massachusetts, a number of states. And so they're right on track to meet their numbers, and the stock has been responding quite positively, down a little bit today, but otherwise very good, and the outlook looks very good as well.
Do you have any final thoughts?
No. I mean, I think we're moving into the summer now, and so other than something coming out of the Senate, I think things might be a little bit quiet. But as long as the COVID numbers remain positive in the U.S., I think the financial markets, the cannabis stocks are going to be in fine shape. And as I say, I hope the rest of the world begins to perform like the U.S. is and not the other way around, because the U.S. is certainly appears to be leading us out of this COVID situation.
Do you have positions in any of the companies mentioned?
No new positions. No positions. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. And if you like the video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. It helps us grow. It's the best thing you can do for us. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking to Clem. Clem is finally coming back, and he's the CEO of ADVFN, and he's going to be talking to us about Ethereum. So yeah, that sounds good to you. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss it, and I'll I'll see you again soon.